Okay, this video is for your 4th month workouts for your 2nd leg day. So you're going to start out doing the same warm-up you did for your other leg day. I'll just reiterate what that is. So you'll put your K-bands on and you're going to do 16 side-to-side hops, pushing off that leg, pushing off that leg, really sitting back in your heels, making sure you're spreading those knees apart every time you're going down. So I don't want you to be going from side to side and having your knees come in. Okay, those bands are meant to be pushed apart because that's what's going to work your glutes. So 16 of those, then 10 each side, really focusing on this leg, pushing through that heel. Then you'll switch, focusing on that leg, pushing through that heel, and then you'll do the 10 to 12 donkey kicks. Okay, so really focusing on, you're going to flex your foot, push up with your heel, get a good squeeze in your glutes. Okay, so you'll do that warm up 3 to 4 times. Then you're going to do some squats again. I want these squats to be moderate to heavy weight. You're going to do 5 sets of 10. You can use a plyo box to kind of keep it there so you make sure you're trying to get deep enough and just slightly touching it as you come back up. So I'll show you really quick. Normal, about shoulder width apart. You're going to go down, barely touch the box, just tap it, and then come back up, barely tap it, come back up, squeezing your glutes down here, squeezing them all the way to the top, squeezing them down here, squeezing them to the top. Okay. Then you will superset that right after with 10 squat jumps from a plyo box. Okay? So you'll just take a plyo box that's shorter, squat down, barely tap it, jump up, barely tap it, jump up, barely tap it, jump up. Okay? So you're going to do 5 sets of 10 of the squats and superset that with the 10 plyo jumps, take a little bit of a break, and do 5 sets of that. Okay? For this next exercise, you're going to do some barbell wide deep squats. Okay? So I want you to go nice and deep with these. You're going to be a little bit of a wider stance, and I want you to have your toes angled out a little bit. You're going to superset that with 15 straight leg deadlifts and also 15 hip thrusters from the bench. So I'll show you what that's going to look like. So I've got my feet kind of at a wider stance. I have them tracking out just a little bit. So angled out into a little bit of a V. I'm going to go down nice and deep and come up. Okay, go down nice and deep, come up. So if you notice, I kind of hold the bar on my shoulders and then bring my elbows forward while I hold it. It kind of helps to offset the weight. So let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so I've got wider stance, toes are tracking out. I'm going to go down nice and deep, pushing through those heels. Your center of gravity should not be in your toes. It needs to be in your heels. You're going to go down nice and deep, remembering to squeeze your glutes at the bottom and squeeze them all the way to the top. Okay? Then you'll just put your feet at regular shoulder width stance. Do some straight leg deadlifts like we've done before. So slightly bending those legs, pushing that butt back, keeping the bar close to you, chest is up high, just like you're going down to touch your toes. Okay? Just really pushing that butt back and keeping that bar close to you. So 15 of those. And then 15 thrusters from the bench. So just to show you again how I like to do this, I sit on the bench first. I put the bar right under my pelvic bone. Then I slide down, usually go right where my shoulder blades are. I'll hold the bar away from my pelvic bone, and you're going to just thrust up through your heels, thrusting up through your heels. And actually, I want you to thrust up through your heels and onto your toes, okay? So you're going to thrust up through your heels, onto your toes, and back down, and do 15 of those, okay? And then I usually bring myself back up onto the bench like that. It's kind of awkward. Okay, this next exercise is going to be some straight leg deadlifts, except with these, I want you to elevate your heels slightly on some plates. So you can pick, you know, just some thin plates to do it on. They don't need to be really thick. So these are just like 5-pound plates. You could do 2.5s. And you'll just put them down, maybe a little, about shoulder width, maybe a little bit narrower. Gonna grab the barbell, just gonna put your heels on the edge, just so your heels are on the weights, your toes are still gonna be off the weight. And then you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna feel this target your glutes and hammies just a little bit more being raised like that. Okay, so same thing, keeping my shoulders back, chest is up, just pushing that butt back. Weight is in my heels, just like I'm going down to touch my toes. Okay? So I'm in my slippers right now, but your heels are just going to be on the edge of the weights, bringing that bar down, coming back up. Okay? Just like that. Keeping that chest up high. Okay? Next, we're going to do some Bulgarian split squats again like we've done before, except this time, if you haven't already, you are ready, I think, to do these with weights. So I would at least do it with 10 pounds. I would probably try and do 15 to 20 pounds, but maybe you can do more. Honestly, you'll be surprised how much weight you can do. Mind you, I want you to still focus on getting nice and deep. You're going to do 3 to 4 sets of 10 each leg instead of 12. So really try to pick heavier weight. Really try to power up. So just to remind you, so I usually put my weight down first. I'll pick a leg. And you know what, even if you don't want to do this on a plyo or on a bench, you can do it on a plyo box that's a little shorter, and it's totally fine that way if that's easier, because I know it's kind of awkward having your leg up that high. So I usually position myself just right by the weight, then I'll go down, pick up the weight, and go nice and deep, pushing through that front heel. You should really be able to lift your toes as you're coming up, because all of that weight should be in that front heel. Okay, so just make sure that you're going nice and deep with those. And if you're having a hard time with the bench, try using a smaller plyo box, and it'll be just as good. It doesn't really matter. So that might help you out with those. Maybe keep you a little more stable. Okay, for this last exercise, you're going to be doing these on the cable machine. It doesn't really matter what attachment you use, if it's a close grip, a bar. I'm using the rope, but it doesn't really matter. So you're gonna do 3 to 4 sets of this. You're gonna do 10. They're basically like straight leg deadlift thrusters is what they are. And then right after, 10 squats. Then you'll take a break and repeat that, okay? So 10 of each of these. So what you're first gonna do is you're gonna make sure you're kind of sitting back, weight is in your heels. You're gonna go down like you're doing a straight leg deadlift. Okay, so you're just going to be I don't have my legs completely straight, they're just slightly bent and they stay that way. My chest is still high. I'm still pulling my chest up, pushing my butt back and squeezing my glutes the whole time and thrusting them forward. Okay, so my arms are just staying straight, pushing my butt back, chest is up high, and thrusting those hips forward. If you are squeezing your glutes the whole time, I'm still squeezing them while I'm back here, and I'm squeezing them while I'm up here, you should really feel it in your glutes a lot. Okay, so you're just going to, kind of like you're just trying to fold your body in half. Just keeping that chest up high, so you'll do 10 of those, and then 10 nice and deep squats right after. Still squeezing my glutes the whole time. I'm never letting, it's like I'm trying to keep a penny between my cheeks the whole time. Okay, so I'm pushing through my heels. So you'll do 10 of each of those exercises. Then you'll take a break and do that 3 to 4 times. Okay, so that will be the end of your second leg day.